Hello, good evening, sir. You're live on the Facebook in the VIT USA and Canada Alumni Association webpage. So over to you. Good evening, sir. Thanks for your valuable time.
It is my privilege and pleasure to launch this North America webinar series by the VIT Alumni Association of USA. This association is growing fast, and this year we are expecting the membership to reach 80,000. I'm very happy the various chapter associations in US is very active, and now they have started this series which will be beneficial to not only the alumni living in US and Canada, but also outside US and Canada, particularly India. You have come thousands of kilometers away to a country or countries where there are certain inherent advantages. For example, India's population constitutes 18% of the world population. But India does not have enough water or land which is necessary. Even though we have 18% of the world population, we get only 4% of the fresh water and 2.5% of the land available in the world. If you compare US and Canada, it is a vast difference. For example, the density of population in Canada is only 4 people per square kilometer. It is 33 people in USA, and it is 450 people in India. And there are many things where we can learn from the experience of US and Canada, because they spend a lot of money on education, health, and economic development. And where we also want to spend, but we have certain problems. But India has an advantage in the population. Probably it has the largest young population of the world. In fact, 68% of the population is below the age of 35. That's an inherent advantage of India, what we call demographic dividend. So we have to balance between the two and motivate individuals, families, society, and the country to follow the example of US in economic development. For example, industrial development or agricultural development, it is much forward compared to many countries. And in the world economy, if you compare between countries, US stands first with $21 trillion. The world total is about $80 trillion. And India is growing, but we are at $3 trillion economy. So we have to go a long way to compete with the advanced countries like US and Canada. And especially, we would very much like all our youngsters to get quality higher education, and the country should march forward both in agriculture and industry, particularly manufacturing sector. Our Honorable Prime Minister has been talking about Make in India, because we import a lot of items from other countries, even though we are capable of manufacturing them in our own country. Our manufacturing sector contributes 16% of the GDP, whereas it is 30% in South Korea and 42% in China. There, they have an advantage. China has started much before us the new economic policy, and we started in 1991 the new economic policy, where from then on the growth rate started moving up. Now it is time that we concentrate on education, which will lead to economic development. Those countries who were concentrated on education went for economic development. I would like to quote only 2 or 3 countries. In the year 1960, the per capita income of India and China were around $80. At the time, South Korea's per capita income was $160, and Japan's per capita was $480. After 50, 60 years, because they concentrated on education and economic development, particularly manufacturing. Now, China has, we are in $2,000 per capita. China has crossed $10,000. South Korea, which was 160, now it has crossed $32,000. From 480, Japan has crossed $40,000. It is easily found that those countries, because they concentrated on education, they have come up. That can happen to India also. With a young population, if we concentrate on providing quality education to all the youngsters, and also the government concentrates on industrial development and agricultural development, India can overtake many countries. If we grow fast and at the rate of double-digit growth, by 2050, it is predicted that we can become the second largest economy of the world, pushing back US to the 3rd position. It is possible, but it's not easy, because the US has an inherent advantage of not only natural advantages, but also they get people from all over the world and retain them. The best of people are retained in US. As far as India is concerned, I would very much like all the governments, not only the union government, but also the state governments, take interest in implementing the schemes. Recently, the new elected government under Prime Minister Modi has announced that India should become a 5 trillion economy within a short period. It is possible for us to grow, but we must be able to provide a clean administration in the country. And the people should be aware of their duties and responsibilities. And the state governments also fully cooperate with the union government. With these steps, we can march forward. But there are certain problems or difficulties where people come to the North America. They have to understand the local policies and whatever benefits they can get or whatever problems they will face in the future. I hope this webinar series will educate them on various issues like education, health, family relations, how to maintain property, how to plan estates, etc., which will go a long way in solving the individual problems. And I would very much like our VIT alumni to be a well-knit family, like a family. And every individual must have close friends where they can confide about their problems, health problems, financial problems, etc. So that when something happens, there will be always people available to help the individual. This is possible, which is happening in our country for a long time because of the well-knit family system. It's also possible in US, especially among the Indian community. And the Indian community is, even though it's a minority, it's only about 4 million people in US. They lead a very good life, work hard, study well, and lead a very good life. And I want our VIT alumni should lead the Indian community here. Wherever they are, they should identify with the local community, with local people, help them, and also get help from them. I think it will be very easy for us to do this, and I want all the chapters of VIT Alumni Association of various states to be very active and to interact with the local leadership, local community, so that they can help them and also get help from them. So this is one of the important steps which the VIT Alumni Association of US has taken, and I'm happy that some of our old students have taken the initiative. For example, from Atlanta, Shivakumar Arumugam, from Vermont, Dr. Radhakrishna Dasari, Vikram Shivakumar from Phoenix, Agrim Sachdeva from New Jersey, Gopinath from Minneapolis, Karthik Rangarajan from New Jersey, and other friends who are joining them. I would like to congratulate all of them for taking the initiative, which will be very beneficial not only to our alumni students but also their families, and ultimately it will be doing good to the society here and back in our own country. This series, I hope, will continue for years, and where they can get experts on various subjects and ask them to give their views or advice, which will be beneficial to the youngsters who are living here, and on various aspects of how to grow, individually how the family can grow, ultimately how the country can grow. These are very essential steps where I would like our alumni to play a crucial role in the economic development of US as well as back in India. Already we are doing very well in remittances. I don't know how many of you know that the citizens going out of the country earning money and sending back to their own country, India leads the world. Our remittance is about $80 billion a year, and in that the southern states are leading. Almost half of it comes to southern states, and the first state to get remittance, the maximum, is Kerala. Then comes Tamil Nadu and other states. That's because they are doing very well in studies and also concentrate on English language. Of course, we have an advantage in having English as an important language, and where we are doing very well. I hope this will spread to other states also. On the whole, this webinar series is going to help not only our alumni, but also the people living here, the Indians living here in US, and also back in the country. Not only alumni, various other people who are concerned with the economic development of the family, society, and the country. This is going to help in a long way. I would like to congratulate again the Alumni Association of US, and particularly the friends who have taken the initiative to launch this webinar. Thank you.